A friar carrying a statue of the Blessed Virgin Mary that weighed hundreds of pounds all by himself? How could that be possible? And yet, it truly happened. Not only that, in his other arm he held the Holy Eucharist, walking straight through the bloodthirsty Mongol army. From that day, one of the most astonishing miracles of Mary has been told and retold for over 8 centuries. The story takes us back to the year 1240, when the thunder of Mongol horses shook all of Europe. They burned churches to the ground, slaughtered villages, and spread terror wherever they went. The monastery where Saint Hyacinth lived was also under heavy threat. Amidst the smoke and flames, when everyone begged him to flee for his life, Hyacinth instead walked calmly into the chapel. With deep reverence, he took the Holy Eucharist into his hands. With the Holy Eucharist already in his arms, Hyacinth passed by the large stone statue of the Blessed Virgin Mary. He stopped, his eyes filled with tears. "Dearest Mother, I cannot abandon you to the flames. Please help me, so that I may carry you with Christ." Then he rose, stretched out his arms, and embraced the statue. And in that very instant, the miracle unfolded. The statue, once weighing hundreds of pounds, suddenly became light, light as a bouquet of flowers in the arms of a devoted son. With one arm carrying the Blessed Sacrament and the other holding the statue of Mary, Hyacinth walked through smoke, fire, and the thunder of horses' hooves. And yet, miraculously, no sword, no arrow, no hand of the enemy could touch him. It was as though heaven itself was shielding him, and the Blessed Mother was walking beside her son. In Hyacinth's arms, Christ and his mother seemed to shine with a light that guided his steps. He walked out of the burning monastery, straight through the thousands of Mongol soldiers. Shouts filled the air, steel clashed, chaos raged, yet strangely, not a single enemy laid eyes on him. They say Hyacinth's figure moved like a shadow across that sea of warriors, hidden by an invisible veil. And so, with Christ and Mary held close, he walked out of the flames of war, completely unharmed. When Hyacinth reached the wide riverbank, there was not a single boat in sight. The waters raged, the current fierce, waves crashing wildly. Any ordinary man would have despaired, but Hyacinth only clutched the Lord tighter in his arms, pressed the statue of Mary against his chest, and whispered, "Blessed Mother, I place my trust in you." And once more, a miracle unfolded. As his foot touched the rushing waters, the river held him up, firm as dry ground. Step by step, he walked across the waves, carrying both Christ and his mother to safety on the far shore. At last, Hyacinth set foot on the opposite bank. His breath was heavy, but his heart overflowed with peace. Gently, he placed the statue of the Blessed Mother down upon the ground, and in that very moment, it became heavy again, just as it had been before. Hyacinth fell to his knees, overcome, tears streaming down his face. For now he understood. The statue had grown light only because it rested in the trusting arms of a child of Mary. She had walked with him, protecting both her son and her faithful servant. And that miracle did not end on that day of fire and fear. For 8 centuries, its echo has endured. When we embrace the Blessed Mother with love and trust, she makes the burdens of life lighter, and she will lead us safely through every storm.
Mercy's triumph. In the splendid city of Paris, there was a parish called Our Lady of Victories. The name sounded grand and triumphant, yet behind it lay a dismal reality. The parishioners no longer cared for God or the faith. They were absorbed in the vanities of life, money, fame, and nights of endless revelry. The spirit of faith seemed to have burned out, leaving behind only an empty shell. The parish priest, a gentle father devoted wholeheartedly to his flock, was burdened day and night. Seeing his people stray so far from God, his heart was filled with unceasing sorrow. He spent countless nights in the church, kneeling before the altar, offering fervent prayers, begging the Lord to pour light upon those wandering souls. Then, one night, as he celebrated Mass, his heart heavy with worry for his flock, a voice echoed within his soul, gentle yet filled with power. "Offer your flock to the Immaculate Heart of Mary." That voice was like a flash of lightning piercing through the dark night. The parish priest awoke with new clarity. He understood that only the boundless love and infinite mercy of Mary could move these hardened hearts. Immediately, he began to act. He gathered a few parishioners whose faith still flickered and shared with them the wondrous voice he had heard. Together, they founded a group called the Confraternity of the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Alongside their priest, they poured all their hearts into prayer, unceasing, fervent, offering the entire parish to Our Lady. Their prayers were not mere words, but cries from the depths of the soul, tears of repentance and trust. And then, a miracle happened. The love of Our Lady touched even the driest of hearts. Slowly, a wondrous transformation began to take root. Those who had once scorned the church, who had lived in sin, suddenly felt a powerful urge to return. They came to confession, weeping for their faults, and discovered a peace they had never known before. But the miracle did not stop with the return of the lukewarm. The power of Mary's heart reached into every corner of life. Wayward children who had abandoned their families, roaming the streets day and night, came back home, kneeling to ask forgiveness from their parents. Men once enslaved by gambling, who had squandered their fortunes, now left behind their vices and worked diligently to provide for their families. Homes once broken apart by conflict were reconciled, reunited in love. Even more, the parish witnessed astonishing healings. A woman bedridden for years suddenly rose and walked again. A child once struck by a deadly illness recovered in full health. These stories spread from mouth to mouth, strengthening the faith of all and testifying to the mighty power of the Immaculate Heart of Mary.
The parish of Our Lady of Victories, once cold and indifferent, had now become one of the most fervent parishes in all of Paris. Those once known as the greatest sinners were transformed into devout and faithful children of God, living gentle and holy lives. Their conversion did not end with themselves. They carried their newfound devotion to Our Lady into the world around them, touching countless others. But the miracle did not remain within a single parish. From Paris, the devotion to the Immaculate Heart of Mary spread far and wide, like a blazing fire that warmed millions of hearts longing for love and mercy. And so the story of this miracle became a living testimony, proof of the power of prayer and of unwavering faith in Our Lady.
If you want to continue experiencing the miraculous stories of the Virgin Mary, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. And if Mary has brought a special miracle into your own life, don't hesitate to share your story with us in the comments. We can spread faith, hope, and the love of God together.